Gabby. I'm a freshman at Valencia College, and I'm just making this video to give you guys some tips on what to expect about college and what to avoid and what not to avoid. So basically, some things that I wish I knew before college were um, just that you really need to be set on an education plan. Like, doesn't necessarily mean that you have to know exactly where you're going to go, but being really confused for a long time is not the best idea. So don't be overwhelmed in that aspect, but really make sure that you take the time to know your degree, even if it's just an AA degree, because there's so many things that are put into an AA degree that like you won't really understand until you go and get advice for it. So one thing that I advise and something that I thought was super useful was the Academic Advising Center. Um, it was probably the best thing I've ever did. My dad had suggested me to do it, and I was like, no, I don't want to go to that. I don't need that. I know the classes that I need to take. But let alone, I was wrong on the classes that I need to take. I was wrong on like my whole perspective of classes and credits and transfers and prerequisites and everything that has to do with it. I didn't know anything really. And that ties into some mistakes that I made my first semester is that I didn't get academic advising. So I took two classes that I didn't need to take really. One of them being a math. I did need to take a math, but it didn't necessarily have to be that one, and I ended up getting a C in it. So that kind of hurt my GPA a little bit. And then my second class was kind of an elective because I just needed a fourth one, and I thought electives were just supposed to be fun, like whatever's, which they are, but they're kind of not at the same time. And I ended up getting a C in that one too. So those two grades really hurt my GPA. And thankfully, I had some dual enrollment credits that transferred over from my senior year in high school that were both A's, so that really helped my GPA. But if it wasn't for that, then I would have a really sad GPA that first semester. So that wasn't the best, and I regret not listening to my dad the first time because he was right. Some tips on stress management. You're always going to be stressed when it comes to school in some way or another. But what I noticed is that I kind of wasn't stressed a lot. Like I was like, I'm living the life. Like I got class like 3 days a week. I don't have to go every day. I don't have to wake up at 6 in the morning. Like I just thought like, wow, like I'm living life. Like I can do whatever I want. Like I'm not stressed. Like because they don't require a lot of things from you there. Like you don't necessarily even have to do your homework. There are a lot of things that they kind of just let you do on your own because you're a college student and you're an adult and you can make your own decisions. So something that I would say is don't let things pile up because that's when the stress comes in. So if you're not constantly keeping up with things, even though a teacher may not make a due date for it, you definitely need to make your own due dates and you need to make your own like times set that you're going to complete certain assignments or projects because if you let it pile up, that is where stress comes in. And the biggest time for stress is the end of the semester where there's finals or there's just final projects. And for some reason, like this semester, I have one test final. Like my other classes just don't really have one. It's either like an essay or a project and whatever. But I am just stressed to the max. Like I just feel like everything piled up and not necessarily because I put it off, but I don't even know. It's just at the end of the semester, a lot of work just begins to build up. So you're automatically going to get stressed if you're not managing your time correctly and if you are not making sure that you're getting assignments done, even if teachers are not asking you to. So some tips for success along those lines would be definitely just plan out days, like set days, like on Tuesday, I need to finish this. On Wednesday, I need to finish this. And just keep that like in track. They kind of give you this little planner at the beginning of the semester, like when you go to orientation. Use that. I didn't use it, but I kind of just remember things in my head. I do it in a really bad way. I shouldn't do that. So don't do what I do either. But use that planner or use your phone or use any type of planner to write down when you want things to be due. Not necessarily the due dates, but put like your due dates like 3 days before the actual one or a week or whatever long like you need. But definitely do that because you won't be stressed. And if you do all those things right, then you definitely won't have to worry about all of the other things I was saying. Some other things that I found useful were the math lab and the writing centers. Um, Math lab is basically if you have any questions or if you need help with math, like they have computers, they have tables, and they have all these math experts, and you kind of just sit there and they can do your homework with you. They can help you study for tests. They can help you study for the placement test. Like, they are awesome and they know what they're talking about, and they're really, really useful. And I thought that was really awesome. I've used that a couple times. The writing center was really cool too. I had to go there for a speech. Like, my teacher had required us to go like one time, and they're also very, very helpful. They can help you write resumes, cover letters, anything you can think of. They can actually like help you do that. So I would definitely use those things. Another thing, go to your teachers. Like, before tests, after tests, like, talk to your teachers. Make sure that you have a like relationship with them, so that they're not just like, oh, this is just some kid that goes to class. Like, even if I'm not saying like be their best friend, but like ask them about exams. Like, what me and my friends do before we have a statistics test is that we go to my professor's office hours that he has open, and we go and we talk to him and we ask him questions about the review, because he gives us a review and he himself goes through them and he asks us, hey, do you have any more questions? So it's kind of more of a one-on-one thing than him just kind of giving us the study guide in class, which is good enough, but you want to make sure that you have it, and there are little questions along the way that you have when you go back home to study that you didn't really have when you went to class. So do that. Professors always have office hours, so find them in their office hours. Go ask them questions. They encourage you to do it. They basically give you the free will to just walk into their office. So use that, because it is really awesome and it's not awkward at all. I mean, unless your professor's awkward, but I doubt you'd pick an awkward professor. So yeah, just use the office hours, or even just really fast after class or before class. Just ask them a question. Like, they're not going to get annoyed. It's their job, and they really, really want to help you. So basically, overall, college is awesome if you just make sure that you manage your time right, and if you do all the right things. And you're gonna make a couple mistakes, but that's the thing, you're gonna learn from that. And I have already learned, and it's my second semester, and I pretty much know, like, okay, these are the classes I'm gonna take, and I can't take those. I shouldn't take these. So make sure that you are just aware of everything that you need to do, so that you can just finish on time and not waste any time. So I hope you guys thought this was helpful, and I wish you all the best in all your academic endeavors. So make sure you always keep up the hard work and never give up.